You want to hear something interesting? There's one person in this entire world that every top-tier gang, every underground boss, every assassin fears the most. His name, Pietro, the man who turned the underworld into his personal graveyard. But the crazy part about this killer, he's not some young prodigy or super soldier. He's an old man in his 60s, still out here wiping out entire syndicates. But then things changed. If life went as planned, he would have retired a legend. But now, every killer in the underworld is after his head. His fortune's gone, his empire's dust. Kinda sad, right? The legend who gave everything to his organization is now the one running for his life. Bleeding out and cornered, the man looks up. It's you, isn't it? The name he whispers, Pietro. The killer everyone fears, standing there like it's just another day. He can't wrap his head around it. Every assassin in the world's hunting this guy. Yet he's the one walking in calm, like death itself doesn't faze him. He's shocked. How's this old man still alive? Still unseen when the whole world's hunting him? Want to know the secret? Pietro just smirks. Says, you could have every assassin, every camera, every eye watching me, and still, you'd never find me. The man's body hits the floor, barely breathing, eyes locked on the figure in front of him. Pietro tilts his head, almost mocking him. It's a shame, but the Pietro you're looking for. The guy freezes. His eyes go wide. No way, that's impossible. The man's eyes widen in shock. He stammers, Pietro. A shadow steps forward, calm, unhurried. A cigarette lights up between his fingers. That's when it hits him. The aura, the silence, the cold stare. He's face to face with the real deal. You're Pietro. 3 months earlier, a quiet alley in Seoul. Nothing special, just another day in the city. Inside a small bookstore, someone's yelling, "Boss, I told you already. You can't keep doing this." Inside the bookstore, a voice keeps scolding him. "You ignore our calls, and you won't even check yourself in a hospital. At this rate," they shout, "you won't even last 3 months." But Pietro doesn't flinch. He just keeps sorting pills with a calm face. I'm not afraid of death, he thinks. I've lived my entire life on the edge between life and death. He looks down at an old photo frame, a faint smile on his face. I've spent 50 years working nonstop, he thinks, and I don't regret a thing. He flips through a photography book. I've lived my whole life without regrets, at least that's what I used to believe. But as the thought settles in, his expression softens. Now that I think about it, I've never even taken a picture of myself. A small bell rings at the door of the old bookstore. A cheerful voice cuts through the silence. "Hello." A high school girl steps in, sunlight following her. She looks around the room stacked with dusty shelves. I was wondering if you have any middle school textbooks?" For a moment, he stays quiet, like he's not used to hearing anyone's voice in this place. Then he turns around with a smile. "Welcome. We've got every book there is, except the ones we don't." She laughs and asks if he's got middle school textbooks. Pietro answers instantly, from the 1960s to 2020, even foreign editions. "Which year do you need?" She says, "The most recent one, please." She smiles and says, "It's for my younger sibling." Her tone's bright, like the kind that instantly warms the room. Pietro nods, glancing toward the window. "You go to that high school across the street, right?" She answers with a cheerful, "Yes." "You must be in your last year," he says, noticing her badge. She looks surprised. "You even know the name tag colors?" Pietro chuckles. "I know everything about this neighborhood." She looks surprised as Pietro sets a huge stack of books on the counter. "Huh, this is not what I wanted," she says awkwardly, staring at the massive pile of brand-new textbooks. She waves her hands, flustered. "I only have 1,001. I can't afford all this, and they're brand new." But Pietro just smiles. "I don't need them anymore. You can take them." She tries to protest, but he cuts her off softly. "It's okay." He tears the plastic wrapping off the stack, his old hands steady and deliberate. "There," he says with a faint smile. "Now they're used, right?" She looks stunned. He adds quietly, "I can tell you really care about your sibling. So, be kind whenever you can." She pauses for a second, his words sinking in. "Be kind when you can, or you'll end up regretting it." As she gathers her things, she hesitates, unsure how to address him. Grandpa? No. Sir? Ajusi? No. Without looking up, he chuckles. You don't want to call me boss? She smiles, realizing it fits. All right, boss. She hesitates before asking, do you have any regrets? He stops tying the books, his hands trembling slightly. I have a lot of regrets, he says quietly. I've lived a long life. It's just... The scene shifts to a memory. A desperate voice echoes. We can't do anything about it. This is the only way you and your daughter can both survive. He exhales, eyes distant. But there's nothing you can do about what's already happened, he says, voice heavy with regret. I'm sure you don't understand now. He continues softly, but be good to your sibling. Don't do anything you'll regret. Before his words can even sink in, the girl suddenly pulls out a knife, her voice sharp and cold. Go back while you can, she warns. Then I won't kill you. Her eyes widen, shock freezing her in place. How did he know? The old man doesn't even flinch. I know the faces of every student from that school, he says, voice calm but cold. But I didn't recognize yours, so I had to check. He tilts his head slightly, eyes glinting. You said you were in your last year, right? A beat of silence. Then his words cut through the air. What a shame for you. That school was built only 2 years ago. Her mind flashes back, the moment he mentioned her name tag. Damn it. Her expression twists with realization. He knew from the start. She grits her teeth. I have no choice now. She lunges forward with the knife. A close-up of her eye, shock and fear collide as something stops her mid-attack. Her thoughts spiral in confusion. What? I'm the one holding the knife. So why? Her grip trembles, the fear shifting from him to herself. The old man stands perfectly still, eyes dark and unreadable. Does it feel like I'm going to be the one to die? He asks quietly. Both freeze, their eyes lock in silent tension. Neither moves, but the air feels razor-sharp. A single sound breaks the silence. Talk. The old man's hand relaxes as she hesitates mid-swing. He turns his back to her, voice low but steady. Take the books. He doesn't even look at her. I know you weren't lying about your younger sibling. He gives a faint smile, voice calm. I've worked in this field for 5 decades. You can tell a lot from someone's eyes, especially when they're lying. She stiffens. His next words hit harder than expected. You're from the honor orphanage, right? Same as me. Her eyes widen. Icha? Wait, I didn't mean, she stammers, caught off guard. He turns his back again, tone shifting cold. I guess you haven't learned this lesson yet. He pauses before finishing. If our organization fails a volunteering project, his calm mask shatters. Veins flare, and his hand ignites with raw power. That means it's time for Plan B. His tone drops, dangerous and final. Before she can even blink, he lunges. His hand wraps around her throat, fast, brutal, precise. She gasps, eyes wide in disbelief. Her mind races. Plan B? What is he talking about? Panic floods her system as she struggles to breathe, realizing this wasn't just about books anymore. Out of nowhere, 2 men crash through the air, reinforcements moving fast. The old man doesn't even flinch, his grip on her throat unshaken as papers explode around them. They land hard, but before they can act, he shoves her down and rolls, dodging the incoming strike with veteran precision. The shelves rattle, books flying everywhere. He pins her to the ground, his cold breath brushing against her face. If you fail your mission, he says quietly, eyes glowing with intent, even the volunteers need to be eliminated. She's frozen for a second, eyes wide as she realizes something's off. Blood starts pouring out from the old man's torso. He's been hit, and it's bad. Before she can even process it, gunfire rains down from above. One of the attackers opens fire, bullets shredding through shelves as the whole place erupts into chaos. The old man whips out a gun and fires back, eyes sharp and full of focus. But before he can react, one of the attackers grabs the girl, pressing a gun to her head. She struggles, gasping for air as the situation flips instantly. His eyes widen in fury. Damn it! He clenches his jaw, realizing he's trapped, and can't make a move without risking her life. One of the attackers swings in from above, landing a brutal hit straight to the old man's face, sending him reeling. The old man tries to fight back, but his movements feel sluggish. His body isn't responding. Something's wrong. The guy smirks, tightening his fist. What? You sure this is the Pietro we're supposed to be afraid of? He mocks, clearly underestimating him. The bald guy smirks, fake politeness in his voice as he apologizes, clearly not meaning it. The old man crashes to the ground while the group approaches him slowly. They mock his reputation, calling him the top assassin who used to hold first rank. The bald man steps forward, his head tattoo glinting under the light. But I guess even you can't beat cancer, he says coldly. His name flashes, codename, Octopus. Boss's informant. Special traits. The old man, bruised and on the ground, glares up at his attacker. Enough with the bullshit, he growls. Why are you trying to kill me? The bald man answers coldly. The boss isn't comfortable. The old man stares back in confusion. With me? Why? The bald man smirks, his tattoo catching the light. There are thousands of people after you, he says, voice calm but laced with menace. A wall of guns is pointed straight at him. The air is tense as the voice says, it's no use crying over spilt milk. The circle of weapons closes in, all aimed at the old man, standing calmly below. The reward for your head is 7.6 billion. The old man looks up, breathing hard. That's somehow the same as the amount on my account, he says bitterly. The bald man smirks. Yes. It's the money you worked so hard to save your entire life. He tilts his head slightly, voice dripping with mock sympathy. But for that money to go to someone else. His grin twists into something monstrous as he bursts out laughing. How and awesome is that? The old man glares up, face hardened with rage as his enemy mocks him. So, Sunbi Nim, the man says coldly, please make sure to die by my hand. Before he can react, a brutal punch lands square on his jaw, sending his head snapping to the side. The attackers swarm him, fists and kicks flying. This is why you should have stayed quiet and dug your own grave, one of them shouts. Why do you have to make things so damn annoying for us? The thug charges forward, landing a brutal hit that sends Pietro flying straight through the curtain and into the next room. One of them chuckles, watching the body slump. He's knocked out. Guess that's that, he says. The other laughs. Man, I was nervous coming here, but this turned out easy. Let's just finish it. Behind the curtain, Pietro lies motionless, blood dripping from his mouth. One of the men pulls the curtain aside, completely unaware of what's about to happen next. With a bloody grin, Pietro raises his hand slightly and mutters, "It's a small gift from me." The bald man's eyes widen as something metallic clatters to the floor, a flashbang. Flashbang, he shouts in panic. Realization hits too late. His face twists in dread as he blurts out, "Fuck," before the explosion erupts. A loud blast erupts from the building, light cutting through the rain. The flashbang goes off, shaking the street. The men rush out in a panic, smoke still curling behind them. "He's gone," one yells. "Damn it. He let us here on purpose." Back inside, Octopus growls. He couldn't have gone far. He was bleeding badly, while the woman, still in shock, stares ahead, realizing Pietro just vanished into the storm. Rain pours over an empty playground, the sound of thunder drowning the city's silence. Under the jungle gym, Pietro collapses, gasping for air, blood mixing with rainwater. Every breath looks like it could be his last. His thoughts echo bitterly in his head. I didn't even get to put up a proper fight. Pietro collapses face first into the puddle, trembling as blood drips from his mouth. Every breath sounds heavier than the rain. A bitter thought crosses his mind. I sure have gotten old. His fading eyes look up through the downpour, memories flooding in. Looking back on it now, he remembers his youth, a room full of kids assembling guns instead of books. My entire life was just work, while others were studying. He remembers the blood, the pain, and the endless training. I spent every day of the year learning how to wield a knife while others learned how to live. Scenes of him at a desk full of radios and wires flash by. While they were falling in love, I was learning to wiretap until my ears bled. Snow, frostbite, and shadows, his memories grow colder. When they built families, I became a spy buried in Russia's winter. He recalls years spent undercover, surrounded by gunfire and chaos. I survived countless threats inside terrorist groups, risking my life every single day. The tone shifts, his voice hardens. But everything changed the moment a new boss took over. A man sits in the dark, confidence radiating from his posture. Senile old man, he mutters, a smirk curling on his lips. He talks about Pietro with disdain. He used to be feared, but now he's gone soft from age and sickness. The smirk widens into something cruel. It's time to throw him away. Pietro struggles to breathe, rain pouring over his battered body. I gave up everything for this life. I never asked for luxury. He grits his teeth, blood mixing with rain. But is this really all I have to show for it? His trembling hand claws at the ground. No, he can't treat me like this. Pietro struggles to stay upright, his body trembling. I can't die here not like this. I can't lose that money. Blood drips from his mouth as he clenches his jaw. That money, a flash of memory, his daughter, crying in fear, clinging to him. It's all for her. His vision blurs as tears mix with the rain. His last thought burns in his eyes, regret and rage. Pietro collapses completely, blood pooling beneath him as the rain keeps falling. The camera pulls away. His lifeless body lies in the empty playground, rain drowning out the sound of his final breath. Rain pours over the neon-lit flower temple, the base of the octopus gang, buzzing with criminal energy. Inside, one of the goons slams his fist on the counter. Damn it! If I'd killed that old man, the $7.6 billion would have been mine. Another scoffs. Why is there such a high price on some washed-up geezer anyway? The second man grins, dumping a pile of gold coins on the table. Legend or not, money talks. I gave up my kickboxing title for this life. Just wait and see. The thug glares at Pietro's photo, muttering, I'm gonna kill this old bastard and finally make it big. A calm voice interrupts. Did you know? That's the first picture I ever took. They turn, eyes wide. Standing in the doorway is Pietro himself, soaked in rain, very much alive. WH what? Pietro. The man in the red shirt steps forward, calm but cold. Ah, I guess I should say it's the first picture of me that was ever taken. One of the thugs squints, confused. Wait, that's not him. I thought it was because of the clothes. He grips his chest, voice low. I don't get it either. I just woke up like this. The thugs glance at each other, unsettled. What? What the hell is he mumbling about? One of the goons smirks, resting his hand on Pietro's shoulder. Sorry, kid. You're in the wrong place. This isn't where a student like you belongs. Pietro's grip tightens around the man's wrist, his voice cold and steady. I know exactly where I am. Take me to Octopus before I lose my patience. The two thugs exchange glances, confused, cautious. One mutters, What's with this guy? The thug laughs with a mocking grin. Ah, so you're also in this field, huh? What did you come here for? His smile twists into a sneer as he lunges forward, throwing a punch. In any case, if you're in this field, you have to die. Mid-swing, his eyes widen in confusion. The thug's eyes bulge in shock as Pietro effortlessly stops his punch midair. What the fuck? He shouts, straining against the unmoving hand holding him in place. His mind races. How is he this strong? He blocked it with just one hand. Fear flickers across his face as realization sets in. Close up on Pietro, his face still shadowed, his grip tightening. Silent, cold, and terrifying. Pietro's voice is calm, almost too calm, as he tilts his head down. Yes, I am. With a brutal twist, he crushes the thug's hand in his grip. Bones snap like dry wood. The thug screams, charging in with a knife, rage written all over his face. Before he can blink, Pietro moves, one hit, and the guy's body folds, the air cracking from the impact. The last thug steps back in shock, clutching his knife. WH what? Where did you come from? He yells, his voice trembling. Pietro turns his back slightly, voice low and cold. Being good with a knife, that's third-rate. The thug freezes, his confidence slipping as Pietro continues. Being good with all weapons is second-rate. Pietro says, stepping closer, his tone calm but deadly. He lifts a bloodied tentacle from the table, eyes sharp. First-rate is being able to use anything as a weapon. The thug's face twists in disbelief. He's going to use an octopus tentacle, he blurts, completely thrown off. He snaps, yelling in frustration as he rushes forward with his knife. What the hell are you talking about? Before he can even blink, Pietro swings the slimy tentacle like a whip, sending the knife flying from the thug's hand in an instant. The thug's eyes widen in panic. He can't even process what's happening. In one clean motion, Pietro swings the tentacle across his face, the impact sending water splattering everywhere. The thug collapses, choking and gasping, tentacle marks wrapping around his neck as he lets out a strangled "cook." The thug's body is flung through the air like a rag doll, the tentacle coiled around him as Pietro yanks him effortlessly. Without hesitation, Pietro swings him over a massive boiling pot, the steam hissing up as if warning what's coming next. And then, boom, the man's body crashes straight into the pot, flames and broth exploding out as the kitchen fills with the sound of chaos. The thug lies sprawled on the floor, burned and trembling, barely able to speak. "Who are you? Why?" he stammers. Pietro crouches down, picking up a crumpled photograph from the ground. He looks at it, a photo of the old man in the red shirt, and mutters coldly, "Is this the only picture of me you have?" Pietro's voice echoes in narration. He was once the best in his field, the man everyone feared and respected. But now, he's back, in his younger body. He lights a cigarette, a faint smirk forming. "The thousands of you won't ever find me," he says, confident, dangerous, and fully aware that his second life has just begun. Pietro's voice cuts through the silence. "The old Pietro you're looking for." He stares forward with cold, red eyes as flames rise behind him. The photo of his older self burns away, is dead. And with that, a new legend begins. Pietro, young once again. The scene shifts to a black car, speeding through the neon-lit city. One of the agents inside shouts, "We were so close, but we lost him." Inside the car, the man in the suit says calmly, "Soon, Pietro's official wanted order will be announced. And before that happens, I need to get him." He glances toward his partner and adds coldly, "He's almost dead because of cancer. It'll be great if he can share with his juniors, right?" Rain pours outside a quiet restaurant glowing under warm lights, the calm before the storm. Pietro steps in, still wearing his blood-stained red shirt, his eyes sharp and focused, hand gripping the door handle. He scans the empty dining hall, silence heavy in the air, as if the whole place is holding its breath. Then, in a low voice, he mutters, "So octopus extends my life." The scene shifts to a busy station filled with people rushing past. The rain has stopped, but tension lingers in the air. A few onlookers freeze, eyes wide in disbelief. "Whoa, who is that? What does he do?" one of them blurts out. Inside the restroom, Pietro stares at his reflection, his younger, muscular body staring back. "Does this make sense?" he mutters, still trying to process what just happened. Pietro looks down at his hands, shocked. The bullet scars that once tore through his body are gone, and even the cancer that was killing him has vanished. He stares at his reflection again, voice trembling. "I've become my younger self. How did something like this happen?" His thoughts echo, uncertain but determined. "I don't know why this has happened." A wanted poster of the old Pietro hangs on the wall, 7.6 billion won on his head. But the man standing before it, younger and sharper, smirks. "They won't recognize me now." He stares into the distance, thinking, no matter where they search, they'll never find the old Pietro. His serious expression fades slightly as he looks down at his torn shirt. More importantly, "I need to buy some clothes." As Pietro walks through the station, he overhears someone talking on the phone about an 80 million won payment from a commercial deal. He pauses, curious. Another voice chimes in, saying the account balance was only 100,000 won. Something about that catches Pietro's attention. He turns to see a group of men laughing cruelly. They mock a struggling actor who couldn't afford his mother's medicine because of a bad contract. The air turns cold as Pietro silently watches them, his expression hardening. Two gangsters joke around, laughing about spending stolen money on luxury clothes. One mocks the other for flexing his Louis Vuitton, while the other proudly calls himself the boss. The heavier one smirks, explaining how designer clothes help him manipulate people during deals, a twisted business tactic. Their conversation gets cut off when Pietro steps in, calm but cold. This is a non-smoking area. Go smoke outside. The two turn to him, irritated. What? Who the hell is this guy? The two gangsters close in on Pietro, puffing smoke in his face. You talking to us? One sneers. Pietro shoots back coldly. Are there any other smokers here? One of them slaps him across the face, laughing. Get lost, kid. This young's in a good mood today, so I'll let it slide. Don't go around meddling, you'll die early. Pietro stays calm, rubbing his cheek as he turns away. The gangsters chuckle behind him, calling him names. Let's not waste time on these idiots, one says smugly. But Pietro's silence says everything. This isn't over. Pietro flips the switch with a calm, deliberate motion. Let's not waste any time. He locks the door behind him, his voice steady. And end this quickly. The gangsters laugh, clueless about what's coming. Who the hell is he? Some manners freak. One jokes. The other snickers. It's make the man, you idiot. Pietro rolls up his sleeve, eyes sharp and calm. I'll show you what happens when you disrespect adults in Korea, a country of courteous people. The thug scoffs, raising his hand. He's still talking informally? His buddy grins. Let's kill him for real today. Pietro just tilts his head. Hey, come over here. Before the man can react, Pietro's fist crashes into his chest like a sledgehammer, sending him flying back with a thunderous impact. The big guy eats a savage hit. Jaw snaps back, spit flies, dude stunned. Pietro follows up, powering him through the air like a rag doll and slamming him down. The leftover thug waves a knife, screaming, Who the hell are you? Too late. Pietro's already in control. Pietro doesn't even look back. He calmly points out the knife in the thug's hand. A pocket knife. His tone's casual, like he's correcting a student. He glances over his shoulder. You're holding it the wrong way. You'll cut your finger off if you hold it like that. The guy freezes, startled that this stranger even noticed that detail. Embarrassed, the thug tries to act tough, flailing the knife forward. Who's the one swinging it, huh? You son of a... His bravado cracks mid-sentence. Pietro doesn't flinch, his tone calm and cold. If you were going to stab me. His red eyes lock onto the man, muscles tense. Your arm wouldn't be in front of you. He's analyzing the guy's stance like a predator sizing up prey. The thug snaps, yelling in rage, Shut the fuck up, and charges with the knife, his face twisted in anger as he swings wildly. The thug lunges forward, knife flashing through the air, but Pietro blocks effortlessly, twisting his wrist and knocking the blade clean out of his hand. In one swift motion, Pietro drives the man to the floor and strikes with brutal precision, hitting vital points as blue light bursts from the impact. The thug's face twists in shock and pain, eyes wide with terror. He screams, clutching his chest. Pietro stands tall, holding the knife calmly. I didn't stab you, he says coldly. If I did, you'd have died 3 times already. The gangster stumbles back on the floor, terrified, shouting, who the hell are you? Pietro walks toward him calmly, saying he doesn't care what kind of illegal stuff they're into. Suddenly, Pietro grabs the man's shoulder with brutal force. The thug screams, my shoulder, as veins pop and pain floods his face. Pietro leans in close, his tone cold and final. Then you need to die here, you young bastard. Pietro stares down at the terrified thug trembling on the bathroom floor. He sighs and mutters, your pants won't do. The gangster blinks in confusion, stammering, pardon. Pietro looks down coldly and says, stay on the right path from now on. Cut to Pietro checking his phone. His bank balance shows 0-1. He frowns as the thought hits him. My 7.6 billion one is gone. Pietro walks through the crowded station in a sharp suit, scrolling his phone. His expression is calm but cold. I told him not to touch that money. He looks up, eyes burning with quiet anger. All right, in the end, that's what you guys are worth. As he walks past a young couple chatting about scholarship, the contrast hits. His world is far darker. The soft glow of normal life surrounds them, while Pietro's shadow stretches long behind him. Pietro narrates how he grew up in the Honor Orphanage, a small religious facility that raised him. Time passes, and 50 years later, the same group that once claimed to help the poor now flaunts massive charity ads. The Glory Club poses as saviors feeding malnourished children, just a front for something darker. Their banners light up the whole city, showing how deep their power runs. The so-called Glory Group is just a mask for a massive cartel that controls politics and wealth. Pietro's expression hardens, eyes burning with resolve. Since it's the company I built, I'll be the one to destroy it. The scene shifts to a remote warehouse under a moonlit sky, surrounded by crates and silence. Something bad's about to go down. Inside, a man sits between rows of hanging meat, smirking with arrogance. He scoffs, "What? You came to get me alone?" Another figure steps forward calmly, bald, massive, dressed sharp. His voice is steady. "You're not Pietro. If it's you, there's no need to bring anyone else." The man sitting down scoffs, rubbing his temples. "You Glory Club guys are getting too greedy. Keep trusting Pietro, and you'll all die early." The bald man doesn't even flinch. "Who cares if I die early or not?" He calmly closes his eyes, voice low but cold. "Let's end this talk and finish this quickly. You know it'll hurt less that way." The seated man laughs mockingly, leaning forward with a smirk. "Ha ha. For a kid, you talk big. What am I going to do with you, geez?" The man smirks, voice dripping with arrogance. "I've basically set up a festival for our guest." The scene shifts. A line of towering mercenaries steps out behind him, all muscle and menace. The air tightens. Text flashes, "Vacna Mercenary, the best civilian military enterprise in the West since 1984. The seated boss narrows his eyes, his thoughts racing. He's not one of Glory Club's 12 disciples, so why is he acting so damn cocky? Then out loud, he snaps, "What are you doing? Our guest is waiting." The boss grins wickedly and says, "Treat him well." In an instant, the mercenaries charge forward like a pack of wolves, surrounding the bald man with killing intent. The bald man lowers his head slightly, calm, emotionless, a faint smirk forming as pressure bursts from him like a shockwave. Moments later, silence. A chair lies on the floor, drenched in blood, the only sign of what just happened. The boss stumbles back, eyes wide in horror, muttering, "Impossible, what's this?" as he stares at the blood pooling around him. Sweat drips down his face. His voice shakes. How can a human, he can't even finish the sentence. The bald man steps out of the shadows with a calm, eerie smile. "For someone who prepared a feast," he says, tilting his head, "it's a lot blander than I thought." Octopus grins while effortlessly twisting a man's body like it's nothing. His calm voice cuts through the chaos. "Don't you think?" They call him Octopus, rank B+, a monster with full body flexibility, Korea's #1 in jiu-jitsu. The boss's face twists in terror, sweat dripping as he stumbles back. "Do not come any closer," he screams, voice cracking. Octopus rushes forward with that same chilling smile, closing the distance in a blink as the boss yells, "Go away." The scene shifts to a quiet building glowing under the sunset, a traditional place hiding something dark inside. Inside, the floor is a mess of blood and spilled food. Two bodies lie motionless, one sprawled across the tiles, the other slumped in the back, barely visible. Two people walk across the dim hallway. The CCTV was destroyed, and there are no traces of any weapons. "Yes," the other responds coldly. "Then there's only one person who could have done this." Octopus walks through the dim corridor, his tone calm but sharp. "It's Pietro. That old man's still alive, and he started killing our guys." The woman behind him, her eye covered by a bandage, stays silent but tense. As they pass a golden dragon mural glowing in the light, he continues coldly, Pietro's wanted order will be issued soon. No matter what, I need to get him first. He glances back slightly, his tone firm. Report to me when you find his location. The woman nods silently as the air around them thickens with tension. The girl with the eye patch remembers Pietro, the man who once smiled gently at her. She recalls how kind he was, how he risked everything to save her when no one else would. Those memories, warm yet painful, flicker alongside the image of blood and tragedy that followed. She snaps back to the present, her expression firm though her voice trembles slightly. Yes. The grand doors open under the glow of hanging lanterns, their lights spilling across the floor. The calm before the storm. Her next move has already begun. Octopus, the girl with the eye patch, and a man in a red vest step into the restaurant, surprised. Octopus looks around, confused. Huh? What's this? We're not even open today. Inside, a man sits calmly at a round table under the warm light, eating as if he owns the place. The guy in red frowns and asks, "What brings you here? Do you have a meeting with us?" The man pauses mid-bite, his expression unreadable. "I don't," he says quietly, then lifts his eyes, cold and sharp. "But I do have a grudge." Octopus tilts his head slightly, his tone half-teasing. "A grudge? What? Someone pressuring you for credit?" The stranger replies calmly, "Yes, but it's a large amount." The man lifts his eyes, his voice steady but cold. "About 7.6 billion. The air instantly grows heavier around the table. Octopus smiles politely, but the tension behind that grin says it all. He knows this isn't about money. It's about payback. Octopus's expression turns cold, the light slicing across his tattooed head. His voice drops, calm but deadly. "Close the door." He stares at the man still seated at the table. "I think you're related to Pietro. But even if you aren't, you're not getting out of here alive." Octopus narrows his eyes, pausing for a beat. But Octopus studies the man carefully, his thoughts sharp and suspicious. What's with him? How does he know about Pietro? His eyes narrow. There's no information on this guy anywhere. Is he part of the club? Or something worse? Octopus narrows his eyes, thoughts racing. Is he Pietro's hidden son? No, maybe a disciple? But he quickly shakes off the idea. That's not it. Pietro was always alone. Their eyes lock. Octopus is calm, but sharp gaze meets the stranger's unflinching stare. The air between them feels like it could snap. Octopus lifts 2 fingers, his tone suddenly light but filled with menace. "I'll give you a chance to live." He smirks slightly, still holding up his hand. 2 choices. 1. Tell us where Pietro is, and you walk out. 2. Refuse, and I'll personally put a bullet in your head. Pietro sits there, unbothered, almost amused. "What should I do?" "I don't really like either of those options," he says with a smirk. Octopus's men tense up immediately. No one's ever talked back like that. Without flinching, Pietro lifts a piece of food with his chopsticks and says coldly, "You know, there's never been anyone who survived after hearing that." His tone is calm, but it carries the weight of death. He leans back slightly, voice low and confident. "How about this instead?" A wicked grin spreads across his face. "Option 3, he says. "I'm Pietro." The entire room freezes, everybody realizing too late who they just threatened. Pietro drops his name like a bomb. "I'm Pietro." The room falls silent. Even the air seems to stop moving. His eyes glow with quiet fury as he leans forward. "And I killed your subordinates." Every word lands like a knife, calm but merciless. Octopus freezes for a moment, disbelief written all over his face. His voice trembles as he stares at Pietro. "What did you just say?" Pietro leans back casually, voice dripping with sarcasm. "God, a young man like you already has hearing problems?" "I said I killed those too." The confidence in his tone makes everyone's blood run cold. Octopus's thoughts spiral. What the hell is he talking about? Pietro didn't kill them? He clenches his jaw, realizing the situation's shifting fast. If he's telling the truth, and Pietro didn't kill them. He glares at Pietro, who's still eating like nothing happened. Then why the hell did this guy attack us? Octopus steps forward, his voice cold and controlled. Hey kid, for your information, this is a real gun. He loads it with a click that echoes through the room. Now, let's be clear. How are you related to Pietro? Pietro just looks at him, calm as ever, not even blinking, not even flinching. His eyes carry a silent warning, like he's already decided how this will end. The girl with the eye patch tightens her grip on a blade, stepping into position beside Octopus. Her expression hardens. She knows exactly who they're facing, and she's not taking any chances. Octopus stares at Pietro with a smirk, asking if he really wants to know. Pietro calmly replies, "Yep, I do." Octopus grins, saying there's only one way to find out. Without hesitation, Pietro lifts his chopsticks and says, "Just kill me." His voice is cold, like he's daring them to try. Octopus laughs, saying he's pretty good at that, while his guy in the red vest cocks the gun and aims straight at Pietro. The moment the guy pulls the trigger, a chopstick flies through the air and pierces straight into his neck. The gunshot goes wild as he chokes in shock, completely missing his target. His body collapses to the floor with a heavy thud. The girl freezes in disbelief, eyes wide as she realizes what just happened. She stares at the fallen body, stunned, thinking, no way, it pierced his vital point. Pietro calmly reaches into the container and picks up another chopstick, like nothing even happened. Octopus watches him closely, thinking, this guy's around my age, but no one I know could pull that off. Not even anyone in the entire Glory Club. Hell, probably no one in the whole country. Octopus stays quiet for a moment, then smiles slightly and admits, that was cool. Octopus steps over the body, grinning like nothing happened. He praises Pietro for having guts and asks what club he's from, then casually offers him a spot on his own team. But the moment passes and rage takes over. Octopus snaps, yelling in fury and unloading his gun straight at Pietro. Bullets fly across the room as Pietro flips the heavy table, using it as a shield while the wood splinters from the impact. Octopus laughs mockingly, calling Pietro a kid who doesn't know how the real world works. He points at the table riddled with bullet holes, smoke still rising, and taunts him. This isn't a movie. That table can't save you. Gun in hand, he walks closer, giving Pietro one last chance to talk. He says it's a shame to waste someone with that much skill, but orders him to come out so he can finish it himself. Octopus fires nonstop, shouting that once he's done, he'll clean up the mess himself. But suddenly, he freezes. Something's off. He looks down, realizing the red liquid splattered everywhere isn't blood at all. It's chili oil. Octopus spins around the room, shouting in frustration, Pietro's gone. He checks behind the pillar, but there's no one there. He keeps moving, gun ready, completely lost. He mutters that Pietro's vanished like a ghost. Suddenly, his eyes widen. He realizes too late something's above him. Pietro drops down from the ceiling, gripping a beam with one hand and glaring down like a predator about to strike. Pietro drops down and smashes a whole splash of hot chili oil straight into Octopus's face, burning red liquid flying everywhere. Octopus screams and fires wildly, blinded by the heat, but Pietro's already moving and fast. With perfect timing, Pietro twists his body, knocks the gun clean out of his hand. Then comes the finisher. Pietro drives a brutal punch right into Octopus's face, sending him reeling. Octopus's vision blurs as chili oil burns his eyes. He's panicking, completely unable to keep up with Pietro's movements. He looks up just in time to see Pietro towering over him, hands ready to strike, pure dominance in his eyes. Before Octopus can react, Pietro's hand clamps around his face, slamming his head with brutal force. Octopus collapses, lifeless on the floor, while Pietro stands over him, calm, cold, and completely unfazed. Pietro looks down silently, his expression calm but unreadable, like he's already done with the fight before it even started. Octopus lies on the floor, barely breathing, disbelief written all over his face as Pietro steps closer. In his fading thoughts, Octopus can't comprehend it. 10 years of fighting, countless battles, and yet he's never faced anyone this terrifying at such a young age. The do-or-die tactic. The words ring in Octopus's head. He remembers his old instructor's voice telling him that one day, he'd face someone far stronger. The only way to survive would be to strike the instant their guard drops. Young Octopus had repeated it back then, the do-or-die tactic, never imagining he'd be the one on the receiving end of it someday. Octopus's voice echoes. Since then, I polished a technique only I could use. Flashback to his brutal training days. He's got another trainee locked in a chokehold, squeezing harder as his instructor yells at him to tighten it. No mercy, no hesitation. The instructor's cold words linger. Never turn your back when you think you've won. That's when you die. Never trust yourself. Young Octopus smiles darkly. After years of obsession, he finally perfected it. In his mind, he's unbeatable now. Octopus suddenly opens his eyes wide. He's locked onto his target, his instincts kicking in at full speed. In a split second, he grabs the guy's leg and twists it violently, catching him off guard. He spins his body with precision, wrapping his arm around like a coiled snake ready to strike. Then he locks in the chokehold, both of them straining as Octopus tightens it, his killer technique in full force. Octopus has Pietro in a chokehold, snarling like a maniac. He screams that he's been doing this since before Pietro was even born, his voice cracking with rage. He tightens his grip, veins bulging as he roars. Do you get it now? Die! Completely losing control. Then, out of nowhere, a calm voice cuts through the noise. Wow, that took a while. Octopus's face twists in confusion. He looks up and sees Pietro standing right in front of him, perfectly fine. His heart sinks. If Pietro's there, then who the hell is he choking? Octopus freezes as he realizes the body on the floor isn't Pietro. It's his own subordinate. His eyes widen in disbelief, cursing himself for the mistake. He looks shaken, sweat dripping down his face. 10 years in this line of work, and he's never felt fear like this. He steadies his breath, trying to convince himself, but deep down he already knows. Pietro stands over him, calm and cold. Octopus's heart sinks as the truth hits. He's going to die here at the hands of this man. Octopus backs up fast, throwing his hands up. He's desperate now, voice cracking as he tries to reason with Pietro. Wait, let's talk this out. In a split second, he grabs the woman beside him, locking his arm around her neck. You can take her, he yells, desperate. She might not be that experienced, but she's still useful. The woman struggles, shouting that she won't go with him, but Octopus snaps at her, his voice trembling with fear and anger. Shut up. We're in the middle of an important conversation. Pietro's voice cuts through the tension, calm but sharp. Okay, deal. Octopus freezes, surprised that he agreed so easily. Octopus bursts into a shaky laugh, still holding the woman hostage. As expected from a Glory Club member. You make decisions quick. Great, this is perfect, a done deal. He starts backing toward the exit, waving his free hand. Take her with you. Use her however you want. Let's just forget this ever happened, all right? But under his breath, his grin twists dark. You bastard. I'll find out who you are and tear you apart. Pietro's eyes narrow, voice cold and steady, the do-or-die tactic. Octopus turns his head slightly, confused. What? Pietro steps forward, his tone sharp. If you ever turn your back, thinking you've won. The air around him thickens with tension. Octopus's expression freezes. Pietro's words echo in his mind. When you think you've won. Flashback, a younger Octopus stands among trainees, his mentor's voice ringing out. You'll face a strong enemy someday. When that happens, wait for their guard to drop, then strike. That's your only chance to win. Back to the present. Pietro's calm, deadly smile returns. I killed 2 of your subordinates. He leans forward slightly, his tone cold. Out of 7.6 billion people, you should have known better than to mess with me. Octopus's voice shakes. In no way. This isn't possible. He stares at Pietro like he's seeing a ghost. A memory flashes, his old mentor standing tall under the dim training lights. The same man who taught him everything about survival and the do-or-die tactic. His eyes widen in horror as realization hits. Pietro, the mentor for back then, is the monster standing before him now. Octopus's eyes shake as Pietro's voice cuts through the silence. Do you remember it? Why, I said back then. Octopus's lips tremble, blood dripping down his chin. He can't even look up. Of the people who learn who Pietro is, the words echo in his mind like a death sentence. Not one is alive. Pietro's lips curve into a cold smirk. Bingo! He lunges forward like lightning, arm cutting through the air with precision. His strike lands. The impact is brutal. Octopus's body twists as blood bursts from his side, pain freezing his expression. In one clean motion, Pietro finishes it. His blow launches Octopus upward, the force tearing through him as crimson light floods the room. Night settles over the glowing city. Sirens wail in the distance, flashing lights cutting through the skyline. A calm voice speaks over a calm's line. Octopus is confirmed to be dead. The CCTV footage inside was deleted, and when we got there were no traces left. The figure stares at the skyline. An old man on the verge of death after being shot returns within a day and kills 4 trained killers without leaving a trace. Bare feet touch the cold floor as the man speaks with quiet authority. A bounty of 7.6 billion. SSS rank mission. His voice deepens. Tell this to all Glory members across the nation. The air grows heavier. Under the moonlight, the man turns, his massive back revealing a ferocious tattoo. An hour from now, I will issue a hunt for Pietro. The city is alive. Lights flicker, cars honk, and people cross the street under neon signs. Everything looks normal, unaware of the chaos brewing beneath. A little girl tugs on her father's hand, eyes wide with curiosity. Look, Dad. She points toward a massive digital billboard. Standing nearby, Pietro glances up too, his expression unreadable. His sharp eyes taking the scene like he's piecing something together. The billboard flashes with a familiar face and a slogan about charity. Treat the elderly to a warm meal. Pietro's lips curl slightly. They really went all out distributing those flyers. Volunteers greet people on the street, handing out flyers. We're the Glory Welfare Foundation, share with others for 20,001 a month. Pietro takes one of the flyers. The smiling image on it feels twisted in his eyes. The words read, treat the elderly to a warm meal. His grip tightens. There's no need to look for me. The paper crumples in his hand. Veins tense, resolve hardens. He steps into the neon-lit night, his voice low but sharp as steel. Because I'm coming for you myself. Pietro walks through the city, already planning his next move. He knows clearing out the Glory Club won't be his solo job anymore, and he's mentally narrowing down who's actually worth trusting. The thought lands on one name, but the moment it does, his instincts flare up. This isn't just a normal ally. This is someone dangerous enough to flip the entire board. The figure stands in the dark with a beast at his side, radiating pure threat. Pietro admits it to himself. This guy isn't weak, isn't predictable, and definitely isn't safe. And that's exactly what makes him useful. Pietro reaches the abandoned public restroom, the place already screaming trouble. Broken tiles, trash everywhere, and that heavy silence that tells him this won't be simple. He pushes the door open without hesitation. The moment it moves, he knows. Someone's inside. Too many people. Inside, bodies are piled across the floor like garbage. Pietro scans the mess, annoyed more than shocked, already realizing this job just got more complicated. Pietro slips through the mess without slowing down, quietly apologizing as he steps past the old man, blocking the way. No hesitation, no eye contact, just straight business. He scans the wall like a pro, eyes moving fast, filtering out the noise. In his head, he's already narrowing it down to the dirtiest jobs on the list. His hand stops. He finds the exact contact he was looking for. No doubt, no second guess. This is the one. Pietro stops at the top of the stairs, takes one slow look down, and instantly recognizes the place. Same layout. Same smell of money. Nothing's changed. He exhales, eyes sharpening. already reading the space like a battlefield. His body relaxes, but his guard goes up. This isn't nostalgia. It's confirmation. Pietro steps inside without hesitation, calm and focused, thinking how the Glory Club still loves luxury, and how that luxury is about to become a liability. Pietro scans the place and instantly clocks it for what it is. Same old den, just covered up with luxury and cash. Nothing's changed, just more money dumped on top. A blade quietly presses against Pietro's neck, testing him. He doesn't flinch, not even a reaction. To him, this threat barely registers. Pietro turns his head slightly and shuts it down cold. Silk clothes, jade dishes, flashy tastes. He makes it clear those things don't matter to him at all. The woman casually presses the blade against Pietro's neck, calling him blind like it's nothing, while her dog growls beside her. She's completely relaxed, like she already owns the room. She smiles behind her glasses, muttering that things were quiet for a while, but it looks like she's about to deal with another body. No tension in her voice, just confidence. Her lips curl into a sharp grin. She's already decided how this is going to end. A silhouette steps forward in the dark, calmly analyzing him. No booze on him, no drunk stink, so he's clearly not some random bum from the streets. The presence feels wrong. Too much killing intent leaking out. Way too sharp to be a petty thief. This guy lives in blood. The conclusion hits instantly. The threat is confirmed. Whoever this is, he's dangerous, and the situation just got serious. Pietro calmly calls it out, asking if Glory sent them, like he already knows the answer and doesn't even care anymore. The woman moves first, swinging hard and fast, taking control of the fight in one clean motion and blowing the whole room apart. She looks down at Pietro with pure contempt, brushing him off like he's nothing more than a nuisance, calling him a little rat. She swings without hesitation, warning him mid-strike like it's casual. The hit comes fast and clean, zero mercy, zero drama. The impact sends him flying straight into the wall. The room shakes, money and debris scatter, and she coolly points out the damage like he just scratched her car. Pietro steadies himself, eyes tracking the blade near his neck. His expression doesn't panic. It sharpens. For the first time, he's genuinely questioning who he's dealing with. She comes flying in midair, grinning like this is fun, calling him out while launching a clean, brutal kick straight at him. Blind or not, her timing is perfect. For a split second, he freezes. His eyes widen as he realizes this isn't an act. She's really blind and still reading every move. Before he can recover, she flips over his shoulder, locks her legs around him, and slams him down hard, completely reversing the fight in one smooth motion. Pietro reverses the throw mid-fall, twists his body, and drives her down hard, using her own force against her before she can react. She crashes onto the couch, stunned, while Pietro pins her in place and admits she surprised him. For a split second, it sounds like praise. Then his expression sharpens. The compliment ends, and he makes it clear this fight isn't over yet. Pietro's eyes narrow as the name lands. Alexander Miking. The knife pauses mid-air, not for mercy, but recognition. So this is who Glory sent. Mentioning a name like that isn't bravado. It's a warning. The pressure shifts. Pietro eases just enough to breathe, but the threat never leaves. He gets it now. This woman isn't here for bloodlust. She's here because this line of work doesn't allow hesitation. Not for the blind. Not for the strong. A faint smile curves on Pietro's lips. Alexander Miking. Glory really is scraping the bottom. If this is their answer to him, then they've already made a mistake. And soon, they'll understand just how fatal it is. The dog lunges first. No hesitation. Teeth clamp down hard, ripping the air with a savage snap. The room explodes into chaos before anyone can even process the move. The woman freezes. Her blank eyes widen just a little. That wasn't part of the plan. The pressure on her body vanishes as the balance of the fight collapses in an instant. Pietro straightens calmly, one hand steadying the dog as it growls low and lethal. So that's it. Alexander McKing wasn't bluffing after all. She freezes, staring straight at his face, fingers trembling as she grips his cheeks. The wrinkles she remembers aren't there. The tired eyes are gone. In their place is a younger man, sharp and unfamiliar. Her breath catches as the realization hits. Her voice cracks as she blurts it out, half disbelief, half panic. He winces, trying to pull her hands away, clearly annoyed more than shocked. This wasn't how he planned to reveal anything. He exhales slowly and tells her stop. Not because she's wrong, but because this isn't the time. His eyes harden again, the same look from before. Whatever changed his body didn't change who he is or what he came here to do. Pietro looks at the mess on the floor, the woman half laughing, half serious, the dog wagging like this is a game. He exhales slowly. Yeah, this is exactly how I didn't die. She freezes for half a second, then slowly pushes herself up, staring at him like she just cracked a mystery she wasn't supposed to. Then you really did come back. Her smile widens, sharp and excited. A second life. Same skills. Younger body. Pietro stands, straightening his jacket, eyes calm again. Don't get the wrong idea, he says flatly. I didn't come back to play house. His gaze hardens. I came back to clean everything up, glory included. Pietro turns slightly, calm but cold. He tells her glory isn't something you rush head on. You cut down piece by piece. Money lines, safe houses, names that never make it to paper. He continues, saying he's not hunting glory. He's erasing it. No witnesses, no heroes, no dramatic ending. Just silence where forcing their power used to be. He looks back at her and says if she really wants in, she follows one rule. Don't chase revenge. Let revenge come to you. Pietro doesn't turn back. His voice stays calm, almost bored. The center of glory, where every order starts and every secret ends. She leans back on the sofa, smile fading just a little as it clicks. You're not hunting from the outside. You're walking straight into their headquarters. Pietro's eyes harden. If I want glory to fall, I can't dodge the storm. I have to stand where it's quiet, right in the middle. Pietro doesn't even look back. His voice stays calm as he explains that glory only understands one thing: fear. If they want control over him, he'll flip it first and walk straight into their territory. The woman freezes, staring at his back. She realizes he's not joking or posturing. This isn't revenge fueled by rage. It's calculated, cold, the kind of resolve you only see in someone who's already died once. Pietro turns slightly, red eyes sharp. He says it plainly. If glory wants a killer, he'll become a nightmare that hunts the club itself, and anyone standing in his way will be treated the same. She freezes mid-thought, eyes widening as everything clicks into place. If no one recognizes him anymore, then glory won't see him as prey. They'll see him as a variable. She grips his jacket tighter, voice dropping. If he becomes glory's killer, they won't hunt him directly. They'll throw everything they have at the shadow, cutting them down. Her lips curl into a sharp smile. Instead of chasing him, glory will be too busy panicking, because the storm won't be coming at him anymore. It'll be swallowing them whole. Pietro's eyes soften for just a second, the calm smile still there. He leans back slightly, like he's already bored of the idea. The people planning around him don't even realize they're already moving exactly how he wants. He lowers his voice, almost gentle. Glory thinks they're setting a trap, but every step they take is guided by fear, greed, and bad intel. From the moment they decided to hunt him, they stopped being hunters. Pietro straightens up, gaze cold again. In his mind, the conclusion is already clear. They aren't planning to capture Pietro. They're just lining themselves up to die. She leans back on the sofa, calm, almost lazy, stating the rule like it's common sense. To be glory's killer, you have to come from the honor orphanage. No exceptions. The contrast hits hard. Old Pietro, worn down and broken by time, versus the current Pietro, standing straight and sharp. Same soul, different existence. She makes it clear. The past version qualified. This one doesn't. Her conclusion lands cold. Right now, he's just an outsider. No matter how dangerous he is, no matter what he's done before, he can't become glory's killer yet. Pietro's smile deepens. He already made up his mind. If there's only one path left, Then he'll walk it without hesitation. The scene cuts to the school building. Clean, bright, peaceful on the surface. A place no one would ever associate with killers, blood, or the Glory Club shadow. Inside, girls whisper and giggle, noticing the change in the air. Makeup, confidence, smiles. Everything looks normal. But this is exactly where it starts. The calm before Pietro steps into the storm. Kim Soon-gul sits back like he owns the place, sunlight hitting his face just right. He ignores the whispers, the stares, the jealousy. Inside, his thoughts are calm. This school is the gate. First step done. Girls keep sneaking looks. Boys grind their teeth. They talk about his looks, his skin, his name. None of them realize what he really is. To them, he's just a transfer student. To Glory, he's bait walking straight into the trap. Soon-gul's eyes sharpen for a second. Divine Honor High School. The orphanage's shadow, the Glory Club's roots. He came here to enroll. He stayed to hunt. Soon-gul walks down the hallway like he owns the place. Calm face, steady steps, hands in his pockets. Around him, students keep sneaking looks, whispering nonstop. New kid energy, but it's quiet and dangerous. Up ahead, teachers and staff glance over. The Glory emblem on his uniform stands out. From the outside, it's just a fancy school, but underneath, this place decides who lives clean and who gets buried. Soon-gul lifts his eyes slightly, scanning the building. In his head, one thought settles in. This is where it starts. And I'm not here to learn the basics. I already know how this place works. The rules, the hierarchy, the way they turn kids into tools and then erase them when they're done. This school isn't training killers. It's sorting them, watching who breaks first, who adapts, and who can kill without blinking. And this time, I'm not one of the pieces on their board. I'm enrolling to tear the whole thing apart from the inside. Soon-gul walks straight through the hallway like he owns the place. Killer class, elite students, hidden rules. None of it shows on his face. Calm, empty, like he's already memorized how this school kills people. Surrounded by chatter, smiles, and fake curiosity, he answers without missing a beat. Normal. That single word shuts it down. No curiosity, no emotion, just a mask, so clean it scares even the ones flirting with him. As the banner for awards and performances flashes overhead, Soon-gul's eyes stay forward. This isn't a school to him. It's a hunting ground. And this time, he's not the prey. Pietro scans the hall in silence, eyes cold. Killer class. Honor orphanage only. The rule repeats in his mind like a bad joke. A faint smile curls on his lips. There's only one way. This kind of exception barely happens. The rules don't bend for talent or lineage. They bend only when someone forces the people in charge to look twice. To be seen as more than a number, you have to stand out in a way they can't ignore. As Soon-gul steps deeper into the hall, whispers ripple through the crowd. Eyes follow him. Teachers pause. Even the staff from the Glory Foundation side glance over, sensing something off. He isn't performing yet, but the air around him already feels different. Back at the apartment, Sunbae stiffens, hand half covering her mouth. Her instincts scream trouble. Yeah, she mutters, eyes widening. At that moment, she understands it clearly. He's not trying to slip into the killer class quietly. He's planning to walk straight into their spotlight and make them choose him. The hall falls silent. Kim Soon-gul's name echoes, and every eye locks onto the stage. This isn't confidence. This is someone deliberately stepping into a cage. Whispers explode through the crowd. Teachers hesitate, staff panic, and the killer class students feel it instantly. He didn't sneak in. He announced himself. Soon-gul grips the mic, calm and composed. Good. Now they've seen me. From the shadows of the Glory Foundation, attention finally turns toward him. The room freezes. Kim Soon-gul grips the podium, eyes steady, voice calm but sharp. He doesn't raise his tone, doesn't explain, doesn't joke. He just lets the words sink in, like a blade pressed lightly against the throat. This isn't a confession. It's a declaration. Shock ripples through the crowd. Whispers explode. Teachers stiffen. Students stare like they're watching a live grenade roll across the floor. Some laugh nervously, thinking it's a stunt. Others feel in their gut. This isn't normal confidence. This is certainty. From a back, Sunbee's breath catches. Her instincts scream. That pressure, that presence, it's real. Too real. Kim Sung-gu lowers his head slightly, a faint smile forming. This was never about introductions. This was him knocking on the door of the killer class. The mood flips instantly. The air tightens, like everyone just realized this wasn't a joke. Hidden eyes lock onto him from above, from behind the glass, from places no normal student should be watching. Down below, the masked figures move. No hesitation, no shock, just interest. Weapons shift in their grips, red eyes narrowing as they finally get what they came for. And while the crowd is still frozen in disbelief, he smiles to himself. Because now they're watching. And once the Glory Club notices you, there's no turning back. The room completely freezes. Teachers, students, everyone is stuck on that one word. Killer. You can feel the fear spread instantly, whispers turning sharp and nervous as people start backing away without even realizing it. Sunbi's eyes go wide behind her glasses, her hand flying to her mouth. Even the dog stiffens, ears straight up, sensing danger. Her voice cracks as she blurts out how insane this looks, calling him a crazy old man who's about to ruin everything in front of the whole school. Back on the stage, Sung-gu straightens slowly. Calm. Too calm. His gaze sharpens, as if he just remembered something important, and with a faint smile forming, he drops a final line that makes the air feel even heavier. Security finally reacts. Teachers rush the stage, guards shove through the crowd, everyone yelling at once. Phones are already up. The room is chaos, but Sung-gu doesn't flinch. He just steps back from the mic. Calm like this was always the plan. Up above, hidden behind the glass, figures with black masks and glowing red eyes lock onto him. One of them tilts their head, interested. Another smirks and says this kid's either insane or exactly what they've been waiting for. Sung-gu glances toward the ceiling, just for a second, like he knows he's being watched. A faint smile forms. Good. You noticed. The moment that word leaves his mouth, the air changes. The laughter around the gym dies out, and every eye locks onto Sung-gu. The circle tightens without anyone even realizing it. Predators don't rush. They test. Sung-gu lifts his head slowly, calm, almost bored. His eyes flick across the group once, measuring distance, weight, breathing. He already knows who will swing first, who will hesitate, and who's just here to watch. A faint smile tugs at his lips. Good. They took the bait exactly like he planned. The guy keeps ranting, chest puffed out, acting like he owns the room. He brags about Yizio like she's some trophy, loud enough for everyone to hear, clearly trying to humiliate Sung-gu and turn the crowd against him. You can feel it. This isn't about jealousy anymore. It's about control. Sung-gu doesn't react. No anger. No excuses. He just looks at him calmly, eyes cold, like he's already measured the distance, the weight, the outcome. The noise around them fades. The whispers stop. Even the bullies hesitate, realizing too late that they're not dealing with a normal transfer student. Inside his head, Sung-gu confirms it. This is perfect. The attention is locked on him. The stage is set. If the Glory Foundation is watching, they'll remember this moment. This is exactly how a killer gets noticed. The punch never lands. Pietro tilts his head just enough, the fist cutting air instead of flesh. Everyone freezes for half a second. That's when it hits them. The gap between anger and death is way smaller than they thought. Pietro grabs the wrist mid-swing and twists. Bone pops. The big guy screams as his body drops to one knee like his legs forgot how to work. Pietro leans in, voice calm, almost polite. This isn't revenge. This is introduction. He lets go. The guy collapses. Blood on the floor. Silence everywhere. Students staring. Phones shaking. And Pietro thinks to himself, real simple. Good. Now they're watching. The punch cuts through the air, heavy and fast, the kind that's ended street fights before they even started. Everyone expects Sung-gu to get crushed. But Pietro slips inside the swing at the last second. Low stance. No wasted movement. His shoulder crashes into Jang Yiziel's center of gravity, killing the power behind the blow. For the first time in his life, Jang Yiziel's eyes widen. Not from pain, from realization. The punch lands. Clean. Brutal. Jang Yiziel's vision explodes in white as his body goes stiff for a split second, the kind of second that decides life or death. But Pietro's fist stops, just short, inches from cracking his skull open. The air trembles, the floor creaks, and everyone watching feels it. That wasn't hesitation. That was control. Pietro pulls back calmly, eyes cold, voice steady. This isn't revenge yet. Around them, the room finally understands one thing clearly. He could have killed him, and that's exactly why this is terrifying. The teacher rushes in waving the red card, shouting about rules and sacred grounds, but the room already feels wrong. Everyone's staring at the fat guy on the floor, shaking, eyes unfocused, like his instincts just got crushed. Pietro turns slowly. Calm. Too calm. He looks at the teacher, then at Yiziel, then back at the crowd. The noise fades because something about his presence says this isn't over, it's just starting. Inside his head, the conclusion locks in. They noticed him. The killer class definitely noticed him. The teacher freezes for half a second after that answer. His grip loosens without him realizing it. The room goes dead quiet. That wasn't bravado. That wasn't a joke. The way Sungu said it felt final. Students whisper. Some look confused, some scared, some weirdly excited. The bullies hesitate instead of charging in again. For the first time, they're not sure if they're dealing with a transfer student or something much worse. Sungu straightens his jacket, eyes calm, voice low. I'm not here to cause trouble. Then he takes a step forward. I'm here to finish it. Kim Sungu walks behind the teacher, hands in his pockets, expression calm. Inner thought. They're watching. Good. Let them watch. Behind him, whispers spread among the students. Eyes follows back. Inner thought. Curiosity turns into reports. Reports turn into tests. And tests. A faint smile forms. Are how killers recognize each other. Sungu glances sideways, red eyes half-lidded, cold and sharp. Inner thought. Come find out who I really am. I'm ready. The girl's breath catches as her eyes widen. No way. Her fingers tremble near her lips. He's not here to fit in. Outside, the massive school building stands tall under the blue sky. Her thoughts sharpen, fear turning into certainty. If he keeps going like this whole place is going to be dragged into hell. Inside the halls, students whisper as a calm, unreadable figure walks forward. His steps are steady. His gaze doesn't waver. He didn't come to destroy the school. He came to tear out what's rotting inside it. Yunbiel lowers the apple slightly, her eyes narrowing as she studies him more closely. You say that, but... She pauses, noticing his untouched lunch tray and the faint tension in his posture. You don't look like someone who just lost their appetite. Sunga leans back on the bench, gaze drifting toward the school building. People stare, whisper, follow. A small, unreadable smile forms. I figured it'd be quieter out here. Yunbiel sits properly beside him, clutching the apple to her chest. You're that transfer student, right? After a beat, she adds softly, the one everyone's talking about. She bites into the apple, eyes half-lidded, voice calm but sharp. If you stay close to me, people die faster. Sungu turns his head slightly, sunlight cutting across his face. No panic, no hesitation. Living quietly was never an option for me anyway. A faint smile curves her lips as she looks forward. Good. Then don't regret sitting here. Rias's eyes narrow slightly, her grip on the apple tightening. So you didn't come looking for me. A pause. Then that means I was never your goal. The man straightens, the playful calm draining from his face. His shadow stretches long across the tiled floor. I came because something moved, something that shouldn't exist. His gaze locks on her, and now it's sitting right in front of me. Close up on Rias's lips curling into a faint, dangerous smile. Then you already know. Her eyes harden. If you're here, it means the game has started. Yunbiel stiffens, fingers tightening around the apple. Her eyes sharpen, suspicion cutting through the casual tone. Then explain it, she says quietly. If you didn't come for me, why do you keep showing up? Sungu looks away, gaze drifting to the ground, voice flat and controlled. Because you're already inside their net. You just don't realize it yet. A beat. And once they finish watching you, they won't let you walk away. Yunbyo exhales slowly, biting into the apple. Crunch. So that's it, she mutters. You're not here to kill me. Her eyes lift, locking onto his. You're here to see whether I survive. Yunbyo looks straight at him, serious. You really don't understand this place. One wrong move, and you disappear. Sungu turns his head slightly, eyes calm, almost bored. Then let them come. I didn't step in to stay safe. Yunbyo clenches her tray, watching his back as he walks away. This school is going to get bloody. He leans in just enough for his voice to drop, calm but heavy. He says he's counting on her, like it's already decided. She freezes when he corrects her. Not Yunbyo, Lee Yuna. Hearing her real name hits harder than any threat. Her eyes widen. He knows too much. She turns away without another word, walking off with the tray still in her hands. The bench is left empty behind her, sunlight flickering through the trees. And for the first time, she realizes this transfer student isn't just dangerous. He's already inside her life. The track explodes with noise as Jonathan rockets forward, every step clean and perfect. Teachers are already standing. Students are screaming. Phones are up. This is his race, his stage, his win. From the sidelines, Sungu watches calmly, hands in his pockets. No expression, no reaction, just quiet certainty. This isn't an accident. This is the moment Jonathan's record ends. The gun fires. The number flips. Second place locks in. The entire track goes silent because everyone just realized the impossible happened. Jonathan collapses behind him, lungs burning, pride shattered. Teachers freeze. Students stare. Whispers explode, all at once. The transfer student didn't just win. He erased a legend. Pietro doesn't look back. He walks past the crowd like this was always guaranteed. In his head, the count continues. 2 down. The school is already watching. The room keeps buzzing, people half standing, half yelling, eyes glued to the transfer student like he just broke reality. He sits there calm, leg crossed, watching the chaos like it's background noise. On the table, the sliced fruit sits perfectly plated. Clean cuts. Sharp angles. Way too precise for a normal class. The lesson keeps going, but everyone knows this isn't about cooking anymore. He looks up slowly, voice steady, cutting through the chatter. Pay attention. And just like that, the room goes quiet. The room goes dead silent. Everyone freezes as the apple turns into a perfectly carved rabbit, still standing on the plate. Even the teacher stares, brain lagging, like reality just skipped a frame. Sunga casually lowers the knife, calm and serious, like this is normal. The rabbit-shaped apple twitches slightly, looking way too alive, and the class collectively panics. Whispers explode everywhere. People realize this isn't talent or luck anymore. This guy isn't just dangerous in fights. He's dangerous at everything. The handle digs into his clothes. The guy smirks, cigarette hanging loose, waiting for fear to show. Sunga doesn't flinch. He grips the handle instead and steps in ice cold. Then don't clean. In a blink, the bully is slammed to the floor, breath knocked out, everyone around frozen in shock. Sungu stands over him, calm and certain. The teacher keeps yelling, trying to pull rank, acting like his voice still matters here. He talks about authority, rules, penalties, anything he can grab on to stay on top. But nobody's listening anymore. The crowd's already decided who looks pathetic. A phone comes up right in his face. His own image stares back at him on the screen, recorded, zoomed in, ugly and undeniable. The threat flips instantly. Teacher license. Abuse charges. Evidence. The laughter around him isn't nervous anymore. It's sharp. He snaps, pointing and screaming about respect and authority, but it's empty now. The words fall flat. In this place, power isn't about titles, and everyone watching knows it. The teacher slams into the ground, stunned and shaking. His threats die in his throat as he realizes no one is backing him anymore. Phones are pointed straight at his face. One student grins and says the video's already saved. Lawsuits, authority, punishment. None of it matters now. Sungu turns away without a word. Behind him, the whispers change. This wasn't a fight. It was an audition. Sunga doesn't answer. He just sets the blue bin down, straightens his tie, and looks at them like they're wasting his time. No anger, no fear, just quiet pressure. The guys keep laughing, stepping closer, still running their mouths. One of them reaches out like he's testing a boundary, thinking this is still a joke, still their territory. Sunga finally speaks, calm and flat. Then don't move. And for the first time, the laughter dies. The punch comes in wild and sloppy, all rage, no control. He's screaming as he swings, veins popping, convinced this is where he wins it back. Sunga doesn't flinch. His eyes stay dead calm as he shifts his body just enough. The fist passes by his face like it never mattered. Before anyone can process it, Sunga's counter lands clean and brutal. One strike. No hesitation. The sound echoes, and everyone watching realizes too late. This wasn't a fight. It was a warning. The guy swings again, wide and sloppy, but Sunga slips past it like he's already seen this punch 100 times. His eyes go cold, pupils locked in, body moving before the fist even finishes its arc. The laughter dies. The crowd freezes as Sunga steps inside the guy's guard, shoulder brushing past him. No wasted motion. No hesitation. Just pressure. The guy's balance snaps, feet skidding, confidence cracking in real time. That's when everyone feels it. Not fear. Not anger. Something worse. The sudden, quiet certainty that this isn't a school fight anymore, and that they've been mocking the wrong person from the start. The brick freezes midair. His arm locks up like his body just forgot how to move. His pupils shake, breath stuck in his throat. For the first time, fear hits before pain. Sunga turns his head slightly. Not rushed. Not tense. Just calm. Too calm. His eyes glow faintly as the world around him feels slower, heavier, wrong. The brick drops from his hand and cracks on the ground. His knees buckle. He doesn't understand why his body won't listen anymore. He stands there calmly, coffee still in hand, while the three of them are on their knees, screaming about justice and victory like they actually did something. His eyes don't even linger on them. To him, it's already over. The crowd slowly realizes what just happened. No flashy moves. No rage. No effort. Just clean, precise violence that ended everything in seconds. The laughter dies. Phones stop recording. Fear quietly replaces hype. He turns away without another word. Walking off like this was just another chore. Behind him, they're still frozen in disbelief, finally understanding one thing clearly. This wasn't a fight. It was a warning. Sunga doesn't answer right away. He looks at the phone, then at the teacher on the ground. His face is calm, almost blank, like he's already done the math in his head. He taps the screen once. The video pauses on the teacher mid-rage, finger raised, face twisted. The silence feels heavier than the shouting from before. Sunga speaks quietly. Not really. He slips the phone into his pocket and turns away, already done with the scene, leaving the teacher staring at his own reflection on the cracked screen.
The teacher swings again, smiling like he's already won. He's talking about instincts, about how he can tell who's dangerous just by looking. In his head, this kid is finally slipping. Sunga stays low, calm. His eyes don't panic. They calculate. He answers quietly, saying that being not normal isn't an insult. It's just a fact. And facts don't change, no matter who's judging. Before the teacher can react, Sunga moves. Not reckless. Not flashy. Just precise. The smile on the teacher's face freezes as he realizes something's wrong. Very wrong. Sunga doesn't answer right away. He just looks at the cup in the man's hand, then lifts his eyes slowly. His voice is flat, almost bored. I learned it because spilling means you're dead. The man pauses. His smile fades a little, interest sharpening in his eyes. So, you learned it to survive? Sunga nods once. When you grow up somewhere you can't afford mistakes, balance becomes instinct. Sungu turns away, hands in his pockets, already walking. I didn't learn it to fight. He stops for half a second, glancing back over his shoulder. I learned it so I wouldn't die. The air goes dead silent. His hands shake, but his eyes don't. That anger isn't loud or messy anymore. It's settled, focused, like he finally found a reason to stand instead of just survive. The man across from him smiles faintly, not surprised at all. He's been waiting for that answer. Revenge. That word alone explains everything about how this kid moves, fights, and stays calm when everyone else panics. The thought sinks in hard. This school, the glory system, the killers they raise in secret. If revenge is the goal, then this place isn't an obstacle. It's the battlefield. The teacher finally understands what kind of student is standing in front of him. Not a delinquent. Not a hothead. Someone who already lost everything and has nothing left to protect. Kim Sung-gu says his name clearly, like he's drawing a line. If he's already dead inside, then fear doesn't work anymore. Threats don't work either. The teacher exhales slowly. This isn't a kid asking for help. This is someone declaring war. The man lowers the cup slowly, eyes sharp, like he's been waiting for this answer his whole life. He doesn't sound excited or angry, just certain. This isn't a question. It's a confirmation. Sung-gu smiles faintly. Not relief. Not pride. More like the moment a trap finally closes. He says he's been waiting too. Waiting for someone to say the quiet part out loud. The air shifts. This isn't about volunteering anymore. This is recruitment. Glory didn't find Sung-gu by accident. And the killer class just found its next instructor. Sung-gu stands there in shock, realizing divine honor high isn't just hiding secrets. It's openly cultivating killers under a harmless name, like it's part of the curriculum. The teacher explains it plainly. A few selected students are taught how to survive, hunt, and erase others. Not heroes. Not vigilantes. Killers shaped for glory. They walk down the dark hallway together. Every step feels heavier as the teacher tells him it won't be easy and that turning back was never an option. A cold object is placed in Sung-gu's hand. His eyes widen under the harsh light as he understands the truth. This is the volunteering club. The place where glory killers are fostered.